All right, Coach, we're ready for you.
Okay, how's it going today, everybody?
Hey, Coach, the Colts have been one of the better defensive teams in the league this season. Just from reviewing tape and what you've seen so far, what's made them so effective on that side of the ball?
Well, they're obviously talented, number one. I think they play extremely hard, number two. They get 7, 8, 9 men to the ball on almost every play. They don't make mistakes. They don't give up big plays. They're a consistent defense. They make you go the long, hard way. They poke the ball out of there. They strip it. They do a great job. And I think they complement their offense extremely well. And, you know, the addition of Buckner really fortifies their front. They got a former Raider, Danico Autry, who's playing really good. And I really like their linebacking core as well. And, you know, their young secondary with the addition of Xavier Rhodes is pretty good. They got players, they got coaches, and they got a lot of effort.
John, I was just wondering if you could give us an update on the availability of Trent Brown, Jonathan Abram, and Josh Jacobs today.
Well, they were available today. I'm going to, see how it goes this week. It's the first time Trent has really practiced with the first team in a while. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. John Abram returned in a limited capacity. Josh Jacobs did not participate, so we still have a lot of moving parts. Damon Arnett, Jeff Heath did not practice. We did re-sign Darren Waller, although he can't play this week. We expect him to play and play soon.
John, it seemed like you guys were able to get the ball to Waller downfield a little more last week. Was that something that was specific to the Jets defense or something you guys were looking to be able to do more?
Well, we're looking to get Waller the ball as many times as possible because he's a great player. The opportunity presented itself. They blitzed 40 times, and a lot of those blitz coverages involve man-to-man coverage, so you try to go to your top dog, and that's what we did on several of those occasions.
You said last year at one point sometimes coaches have to remind themselves the kicker's name, but you knew the name of Daniel Carlson. I'm assuming you still do, given the year he's put together for you. Can you talk about his year and why you'd have confidence if it comes down to one of these 4 games to win a game or to get into a playoff with him kicking?
I really like him a lot. I think he's a talent. He's a rare talent. He's got a great demeanor about him. He's never too high. He's never too low. His first year kicking here, I think he made 17 in a row. He did run into some tough times last year, like a lot of these kickers do. I've seen great golfers, 3-putt greens. I don't think anybody's perfect, but he never lost his confidence. Rich Bisaccia, Byron Storer, our special teams coaches, believe in him. We got a great battery too. A.J. Cole is a great holder. Trent is a really good long snapper, and I just think the kid is a money man. He's a guy I got a lot of confidence in.
Coach, I know you've talked about this before, but now with Vic out there, there's 6 Clemson guys that you guys have on the team. What is it about that program that you guys like, and what does it bring for you guys to have so many guys that are familiar with each other and familiar with that program?
I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. Obviously, we like good players like everybody else, and there's a lot of good ones at Clemson, and I know Dabo Swinney and some of their coaches there. They do a great job mentoring these players. They come in here with a good work ethic, big upside, and the ability to learn, and they can take criticism. They're mentally tough kids, and we'll keep our doors open for more Tigers in the future.
Yeah, John, Derek was talking the other day about the running game and how when he looks at it, he sees, look, the creases and stuff are still there. We can still do this. Do you still see the last few weeks? Have you seen, are you a block away or very close to breaking some runs?
I don't know. I haven't been happy with it the last couple games. I know our guys haven't either. And we can be optimistic and we can be realistic. And I'm going to be realistic. We got to do a better job. We got to have better plans. We got to coach better. We got to do it better. And I'll just leave it at that. It's never good enough. Kind of like our pass rush. No matter how good it is, some weeks it's still never good enough. We feed our families with our running game. We got to be able to run out the clock at the end of the game like we did in Arrowhead. We got to be able to convert in short yardage. We didn't do that in Atlanta, and it still, irritates all of us. So we got to do better, and we made the effort to get better today.
Coach, there's a lot of teams that aren't in your shoes. How kind of gratifying, satisfying is it that you kind of hold, like similar to last year, you kind of hold destiny in your hands again with these final 4 games?
Well, we've worked hard to get here. I mean, we've won some nail biters. We've had 7 games on the road. After 12 ball games, 7 of them have been on the road. A lot of them have been across country during the pandemic. It's been a challenge. We've had a lot of injuries. So we paid the price to get here, and we'll see. We'll see who helps us land the plane. We need some of these passengers to jump on, We got good football teams coming in here that have the same aspirations that we do. And we know we got to play better, and we know we're going to get everybody's best shot.
And John, there's probably some guys I'm not thinking of, but I don't know how many 6'7" 3 techniques have been around that play like Buckner. I mean, how is he unusual in that regard?
Yeah, he really is. He is. He's a guy. He has a great stamina and down-to-down competitiveness of him for that big of a man. I really like him. We liked him as a 49er. Loved him at Oregon. I can see why Chris Ballard and the Colts sacrificed the contract and the draft pick to get him. He's a hell of a player, and he made his presence felt last week against Houston. He's going to be a handful for us.
One more question, Anthony.
Hey, Coach. Coach, is Anthony from Fresno B. I just want to ask you about Derek Carr. He's proven capable of clutch play late in the game and throughout. I'm just wondering if anything surprises you about Derek as far as finding ways to put your team in a good position to win the game.
No, I'm really impressed with how he plays, how he studies, how he prepares, and sometimes the biggest pressure-packed moments bring out the best in him. We still need him to play better and better and better for us to get into the tournament. He knows that. But I'm really impressed with the way he's been able to roll with the punches. 5 different right tackles. We've had 3 different left tackles, a number of different guards and wide receivers, and he's got to put up with me, and that's I'm sure not easy either. But he's a key to our team. We need him to be great down the stretch, and I promise Raider fans he's giving us the best he can.
We got one more, Paul.
Hey, John, how strange is it going to be to see Phillip Rivers with a horseshoe on the side of his helmet rather than a lightning bolt after all those years?
Yeah, it really is. I a lot of respect for him. He's playing hurt. He has a beat-up toe. He has more fun playing football than most guys that I know. He has a passion about him that's rare, and I know he wants to beat us in the worst way. He has a disdain for the Raiders. He's made that perfectly honest to me in the last 3 years I've been back on the sideline. So it's great to see him playing well, and we look forward to competing with him also. All right? Thanks, guys.
All right.
Hey, Derek, the Colts have had one of the better defenses in the league. From film stands out about them and then effective on that side of the ball.
It was cutting out a little bit. You said talk about them and what we're expecting on that side of the ball?
Yeah, just what makes them so effective on that side of the ball.
Gotcha. It really starts up front for them. They have a great front, variety in their scheme, great coaches. I mean, they punch the heck out of the football, trying to take the ball away. They've won a couple games on fumbles, here lately. And, we have to do a better job as a team of taking care of the football. So they're watching our film, licking their chops, trying to take the ball away from us. So starts up front. Their linebackers can run. They're all good players. Secondary, fast, physical, good players, experienced players. And it shows, man. They've had a really great season. And, played against some of these guys, in the past. And I just know how talented they are and how tough they are to play against. They're a really good defense, one of the best in the NFL. And, I think it all starts with their scheme, but their front obviously is just generates a lot of problems.
Derek, when you're getting blitzed as much as you were on Sunday, what kind of luxury is it to have a guy like Waller who can win a one-on-one matchup and where he's going to be? Just the chemistry that you guys have, how much does that help you against the blitz?
No, I'm glad you said that, man. It's so I can just talk more good things about Waller. Whenever any quarterback, you ask any quarterback, whenever you have a guy that it's man-to-man coverage and you know he can win, you can confidently against any blitz take your drop, step up and throw him the ball. And it's not always perfect because there's moving parts, but whenever you get chemistry and you've played a lot of games, him and I can say now we've played a lot of games together. We have a lot of experience together, and the the knowledge and the just before you take that snap, you know you have a guy that can win like that. It makes all the difference in the world, and you can play more confidently at the position. It's not hesitant. Oh, did he win? Now I throw it. I'm cutting it loose before he breaks. I know, if he has an option or a choice route, I know where he's going to break before he even does it, so I can throw it earlier, which is a good thing because he'll have more separation, if I can throw it to him earlier. So I can't stress how much that matters. Especially, for you watch some young quarterbacks today, it's you got to do it now or you're gone. You got to do it now or it's somebody else. And I've just been blessed, man, to grow in this system for the last couple of years with some similar players because it's time on task. It really, really matters. And just thankful for our organization, doing things the right way because, as a quarterback, I can play better, Josh. I can play at a different level, cutting it loose and things like that. It's just when you have guys like that, it helps a lot.
Derek, is it going to be weird for you going up against Phillip Rivers now, going up against him as a Charger for so many years, and now he's a Colt? And what do you think he provides to this offense, and what do you think he has around him that's so much more different than when he was with the Chargers?
Oh, yeah. I have nothing but respect for Phillip. I've competed against him now. This will be my 7th year, playing against him. And Phillip knows our franchise very well, obviously. And I think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think he's one of the best to ever play. He's unbelievable to watch some of the throws he makes with anticipation and accuracy. He plays the game at a different level mentally than a lot of quarterbacks play the game nowadays. He's making checks at the line and doing things like that. A lot of people don't do that stuff anymore, and he still does. And it's as an old soul, it's fun for me to watch because I respect the heck out of him. And I think he's one of the best. And anytime you go against him, you got to be ready for a shootout. You got to be ready because I've played against him where it's come down to the wire. I've played against him where we've had the lead, and here he comes. Coming running back with it. Coming on a comeback. I've played some games where he blew us out. He's an unbelievable competitor, and nothing but respect for him. I think I can't really remember off the top of my head. I don't play safety, so I don't watch the Chargers offense much, but or the Colts offense. But I just know what kind of player he is in person, and again, nothing but respect for him. And I think again he's one of the best to really ever play the game.
Derek, you mentioned within the last week, I can't remember when it was though, but how anxious you are to get into the postseason and play your first postseason game. Similar to last year, you guys kind of control your own destiny again with these final 4 games.
Yeah, we again, I said that, being serious, like I would love nothing more than to be able to do that. I really, y'all know, it's been a long wait for me. So I would love nothing more than to be able to do that. But if we don't win this game, it doesn't mean anything. So we have our work cut out for us against one of the best teams in the NFL. They've had some close losses. They've had some close games. But when you turn that tape on, it just jumps out at you how good they are. So, we got to bring it. We got to be ready to play. Because if not, they'll come and run us out of our own stadium. So, as much as I'd love to be get ahead and think about those things, it doesn't matter if we don't take care of business.
Derek, you've talked pretty much since the beginning of the year about this being an offense that can win it if you run it, you can win it if you throw it, and being able to do both those things is good. But ideally, you guys want, Gruden wants balance, you want balance. How important is it to kind of reestablish the running part of it this game as well as the last 4?
Yeah, balance makes my job really a lot easier. Balance, fronting and passing makes the O-line's job a lot easier. When we can do that, it helps. Having balance opens up the play action game more. It opens. When you do drop back, they're not just full tilt, pinned their ears back. With games everywhere and making it tough on everybody. But we've proven what's nice about that, Jerry, is we've proven that if we do have to do it that way, we can do it. And it doesn't make it easy, but we can win that way. And so, obviously, we want things to be better, and obviously, we want, if we can run the ball, really well, it opens up a lot of things, make things easier. But at the same time, we're in a single elimination kind of mindset. Maybe it's not that way, maybe it is, but our mindset is whatever we have to do to win it, let's just do that.
Hey, Derek, I guess I'll give you one more chance to talk about Darren Waller. I want to take you back a couple years. Was there a moment, or when was it that you realized that you guys had something special in him?
It was the first route that he ran, and I really just couldn't believe how fast he was. I was blown away. Couldn't believe that a man that big could run that fast and could catch the ball. And I'm trying to put everything together because I didn't know what he had been through before. Honestly, I didn't know his story. I remembered him from college, having big plays and things like that. But I didn't know much about his background. So I'm like, how did we get this guy? How was he just on the practice squad somewhere? So I just remember throwing him his first route in practice. I threw it like 10 feet behind him, and I was like, oh, wow, this guy can run. And from then on, it was just like this beautiful thing where, not only on the field chemistry, but off the field, like he told me his story and what he had been through. And I didn't judge him because I was like, bro, I haven't been through that, but I've done some silly things in my life too. Like, I'm not here to judge anybody. Like, everyone goes through stuff. Everyone's problems, their own problems. And so it's like, if there's anything we can do, I'm here to help, but I love you, man. Let's just keep growing. This could be special. And it's turning into a relationship that really is special, man. I really, really appreciate that man and his hard work. As much as we ask of him, as much, of the routes. He caught 13 balls for 200 yards as a tight end. That's insane. And then on the last play of the game, we asked him to pass protect for like 4 seconds so we can launch a go ball. Like, the dude's just unbelievable. He gets the credit because the fantasy stat people love his touchdowns and stuff like that. He doesn't get nearly enough credit for what he can do in the run and pass game protection wise. He's the complete package. I think he's the best in the league.
Hey, Derek, it doesn't take much to get you motivated, but in situations like Sunday, what is going through your mind when your team is needing a touchdown or perhaps a field goal to get that win in a critical situation?
That's a good question, Anthony. So many times in my career we've been in that position where early on it's like, you don't know how to act. You got to calm down, do your job, and try and figure it out. And the more times you kind of go through it, it's like anything. It's just like experience, and experience with people you've done it with before. And some of these young guys are learning, how we do things around here. And if it's winning a game on the last play, then we got to do it. But it's just, you just take a breath. And at the end of the day, what I've learned, doesn't matter who's in the stands, who's not in the stands, doesn't matter what field you're on. When you go the next day, you turn the film on, or that night, you look at it and you say, did we execute? And so really, in that moment, you just take a deep breath and you say, I just got to take my right drop, I got to make the right read, and I got to throw the ball accurately. And you try your best to do those things. And like Coach Cable always says, don't make stuff up. Just do right. Just do the right thing, and it usually works out.
Derek, I know it's still might be a process for Trent to get out there on Sunday, but how nice was it to see Trent Brown out of practice today, and what kind of lift can he give the offensive line to give this offense if he's ready to go these next 4 games?
Oh yeah, it was. It's lovely to see Trent out at practice today. Anyone would be silly to say it wasn't. Our offensive line, I think, is the best in the NFL, and I love those guys, and I think that all of them should be Pro Bowlers. I think all of them should go and get every accolade ever because of what they've been able to do and how many positions they've played. And then when Trent gets healthy and he's coming back, you hope he can play, and then you see what could be, And again, it feels like we've been waiting all year, to see the whole group together. Feel like we've been waiting all year to see our whole offense at full tilt. Maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't, but if we can get to that point, it'd be nice to get some games under our belt together and see what we can do. But seeing Trent out there is awesome. I love that guy so much. I'm thankful for him, and I just hope everything, he's healthy and ready to rock.
And Derek, I was going to follow up on Trent. What kind of impact does he have on a game as far as the game plans and both running and passing the ball?
He has a big impact. In every NFL pocket, and this is not a knock at all on anybody. This is everybody. NFL pocket's usually like this. With Trent, it's like this. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's just so much more space to move. He's the best in the world at what he does. You know what I mean? And so it's just a credit to how dominant he is. It's like you drop back and you're like, there's nothing there, and you can manipulate people more. You can do more things as a quarterback that you mentally want to do. You can do a lot of those things, and the chemistry of the reps together and things like that too. So he's a dominant player, in the run and the pass game. Even though he hasn't played, I think our offensive line has still been the best in the NFL. What we've been able to do, what they've been able to accomplish has been phenomenal. And now you add him back, it's like anything. Any good team, once you add another good piece or another starter back to the pie, I mean, it's unbelievable. You're thankful and all those kind of things, but he's just so dominant. There's just more room in the run game. There's more room in the pass game just because of how dominant he is of a football player.
Well said, Derek. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, guys, we got Denzelle good. Let's get the hands up for questions. Go ahead, Jerry, you're first.
Hey, Denzelle. Coach Gruden was talking about how important he thought it was to get back to running the ball effectively. The last 3 games haven't been with the previous 3, when you were, almost 200 a game. Just curious as to your kind of observation on that, and how important is it for you guys to start imposing your will in that manner again?
It's always important for us to try to impose our will on the opposing defense with the run game. That's what we kind of built for up front. But things just don't go perfect. You can make up the perfect game plan, but it ain't always gonna go that way. That's just how it was these past couple weeks. They gave us a lot of different looks. With the Jets and Falcons, similar defenses, but we kind of felt like we were out of sync in the run game. But we've trying to make that an important point to make this week as far as getting back together and reestablishing ourselves as a running team.
Denzelle, as far as what you have to go through with the defense of the Colts, I know you're a South Carolina guy, and Darius Leonard, who's their defensive captain, is a South Carolina guy. How long have you known that he's been legit, and is he someone that you're focused in on Sunday?
I seen it my last year there, his rookie year. He came in and he just took command of the defense, made plays. I knew he was going to be special, and it turned out that he is really special. And you can see it on film. He pops off the screen, sideline to sideline, downhill, running through gaps, making plays, energy. It's all over the tape.
Yeah, Denzelle, DeForest Buckner's kind of unusual for a 3 technique, in that he's like 6'7". I don't know if I've seen many 3 techniques that tall. Usually there's smaller guys that kind of burrow through and break up blocking schemes. What's different about him besides his height? Why is he so good?
That whole defense, they all seem like they play with the same kind of motor. They play hard. And it's not like they're just playing hard to make up for a lack of talent, because they have a ton of talent, and they all play hard. They all give great effort, and they all finish. He really stands out by getting to the ball, man, and just also besides the fact that he's 6'7", but he is definitely one of the top guys in this league at the 3 technique for sure.
Denzelle, what was it like last week going up against as an offensive lineman, going up against a defense that blitzed you guys as often as they did? Is that mentally draining? What's that?
It's everything. It's draining to every part of my body, honestly. But it was a lot of one-on-one matchups, and I feel like everybody held their own on the offensive line. We didn't have the day we wanted to have, which is to keep DC extremely clean, but we put it together, and we put it together enough to where we can get the win.
And Denzelle, you have a unique vantage point. What makes Josh Jacobs stand out? What makes him special in your mind?
To see how he finishes a run is ridiculous. I haven't seen that at this rate in the NFL. Adrian Peterson was one of my favorite players, just how hard he ran, and Josh is like a compact version of him to me. So he ain't got that crazy speed, but goodness gracious, he can definitely lower that shoulder and get the job done.
And so what was it like to have Trent Brown back on the field today, and what could he give you the last few games if he's good to go? I know you guys have done well without him, but he's quality of his play is so high.
It's huge to have Trent Brown back, man. I mean, you guys have seen him play, and it's incredible. He's going to help our run game a ton, I'm sure. But having him back is just a huge morale boost to us. It just makes everybody, feel better having him around. It's another protector.
Okay, thanks, Denzelle. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Darren, Derek was talking about the how much confidence he has when he sees that you got man-to-man coverage against the blitz, that he knows you'll always get open. When you see man-to-man coverage, do your eyes light up?
Yeah, I mean, that's just what you want it to be, just being somebody across from you, just competing, just having fun. I enjoy when it's man-to-man coverage. I enjoy when it's zone coverage too, so, I just like, executing.
Aaron, just an early look off of game film. What is your first impressions of Darius Leonard?
Incredible linebacker, sideline to sideline player. Can run, can hit. Great at knocking the ball out. Brings energy, and it looks like he's having fun. That defense is having fun playing football. So, as far as the linebackers go, he's as good as they come.
Darren, if we can go back to the training camp, a lot of talk about your 3-year anniversary for sobriety, and then the fundraiser issue, and then you have a couple of big games, and then the New England game, and then sort of just a balance of games for you throughout. And then you have a monster game. What's this year been like for you this season since August on your mental game, and just and everything that you've been through? And is it something that you have to deal with? You're at practice, you're training, you're preparing, but then off the field, you're still in recovery in terms of, you're always going to be recovering. Has it been difficult? Has it made you stronger? Can you just kind of recap how this season has gone, and maybe how proud you are of yourself, and just the journey since then?
I feel like this season I've improved as a player and a person. There's been games where, the numbers weren't what, people may have expected or something like that. But I just feel like I've grown every week just in my mindset of, whether I have 20 yards or 200 yards, I still, come to work the next week with the same mindset the next day, and, just stay on top of my habits and things like that, and let the results take care of themselves. But, it's been an exhausting journey. I feel like any NFL player would say it's exhausting to be here, and then you kind of add, off the field stuff onto your plate, trying to give back, and that, adds more and takes more energy. So it's been, it takes a lot to do it, but I see it as a blessing as well, so I don't see it as a burden.
Hey, Darren, obviously you had a great year last year, and like you said, it seems like you've improved. You've kind of even one-upped it to this point of the season so far this year. What areas on the field do you feel like you've made strides in and gotten better over the last year?
I would just say the consistency in the run blocking. There would be certain personnel groups last year where I would come off the field more for those, but now this year I'm just kind of in all the time as far as stamina and things of that nature, and just staying focused. Because last year, it was getting the ball a lot. It was easy to stay in the game, but it's like when the ball gets balanced out more and it's more spread out with targets, you got to find ways to stay in the game, and that's taking pride in how you're clearing out an area for someone else, how you're blocking for someone else. So I feel like I've definitely grown in just my focus throughout the game. I feel like sometimes last year I'll be doing well, but my mind would wander. But this year I feel like I'm locked in at all the time, and whatever's asked of me, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just willing to do it.
Darren, with Vic Beasley, now you guys have 6 guys from Clemson. I was wondering what it was like for you as an ACC guy. How much grief do you get from those guys, and what is it like to have so many guys from one program on the pro team?
I get grief from those guys just because Georgia Tech, we haven't fared well against Clemson too recently, but so I'm always the butt of jokes on that front. But they're all good guys, good people. come from winning pedigree, so they know how to play the game and they know how to handle themselves. Moments don't seem like they're too big for them. They just know how to have fun and appreciate the moments.
Hey, Darren, pretty much anybody that talks about you, the first time they see you, they're kind of almost overwhelmed by your skill set, by the size and speed and everything. I'm just curious, what was the first thing you thought about when you saw Trent Brown for the first time, and what's it like having him back on the field today?
Seeing Trent Brown for the first time, I mean, he's easily like the biggest person I've ever been around, like on a day-to-day basis, like in any walk of life, But I mean, he's so like, he's just real chill. Like, he's not overbearing or anything. He has a good personality. He's intelligent. So he's just, to add that to his skill set and how big he is, he's just like, a great guy to be around, a great teammate. And it's awesome to see him out there. Anytime he's on the field, he's an impact player, to say the least. And it's definitely a blessing to have him back.
Hey, Darren, when you came into the league, I wanted to know, was there any type of player that you hope to emulate, any other athlete that you were like really motivated by when you came into the league to really kind of just boost how you play, and somebody you wanted to emulate?
Yeah, I would say Calvin Johnson for sure, coming from Georgia Tech, just seeing how, he would take games over and just dominate consistently. It's like, I mean, there's no saying that I'll reach his level of play, but, if I can shoot for him and, continue to chase after him, I feel like I'll be all right. But, yeah, it was Calvin Johnson for me just because he was the example at my school, and then following him through the NFL, it's just like, you want to have an impact like him on the game, and, just know that every week you can go out there and dominate.
Hey, Darren, when you guys, you're not on the sidelines watching. There are some teams on the sidelines watching, but once again, like last year, you guys kind of controlled your own destiny down these final four games. I guess, how exciting is that, and how rewarding is that you do kind of control your own destiny?
Yeah, it just makes like all the work up to this point feel like it's worth it. It feels like, it's, you invested it all and it's kind of paying off for you. Like, you're in a position that you want to be in. And so now it's just, continuing to be grateful for it and go out there and show that, you don't have to be a different person during this last stretch. You just have to keep being who you are and building on the foundation that you built individually and collectively as a team. So yeah, I mean, it's exciting. To have it at home, you can't ask for a better situation. So we're excited about it.
Hey, Darren. Derek told us earlier that the relationship between you and him is turning into something really special. I'm just wondering, how much has he helped you since you got with the Raiders as far as like building that bond?
He's helped me out tremendously. And it starts off the field just as being like a friend and a good person to me, and that makes me want to carry that over to the field and not wanting to let him down. He's also helped me a lot with like communicating and like, I remember when I first got to the team, just like he would make me tell him what I saw and things like that, just because I was always, a quiet guy, just because I was always in trouble and stuff like that. And it was always like, I was in the building or out the building, so it was always just like keep my mouth shut and do my business. But, like my voice is valued here, and, it took me a while to kind of branch out into that, but Derek helped me out with that process. And now we communicate and nothing really goes unsaid, no stone unturned. And that's how it helps us stay on the same page.
Hey, Darren, Sam Gordon here with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Wanted to check in with you as a hip-hop fan and as an MC yourself. How would you characterize the relationship between the Raider franchise, the Raider brand, and hip-hop, particularly on the West Coast?
Oh, man, that's that goes back, well beyond before I was born. It's just associated with a culture. It's just like, someone that's it's not going to be the norm. It's got some grit to it. It's got some bite to it. It's aggressive, but it's also, intelligent. If you look deep into the layers of it, there's a lot more to it than just the gritty nature. They're, intelligent people that are creative, people that, do everything in all walks of life. So just the Raider bond with hip hop is incredible. And I know that, I want to keep representing that when I do it. That's why I take making my music seriously.
Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Darren.
Appreciate y'all.